Hey again, guys. Do you know what I like to do on a Sunday night? I like to talk about baseball cards. Recently, I did a live feed and I posed the question, why are so many collectors today so afraid of raw cards? Because, I have lots of raw cards and I'm certainly cautious, but I'm not afraid of them. And there are lots of collectors like me who, from, the 70s and 80s, pulled thousands and thousands of cards ourselves and still have those. A lot of retired guys that have, enormous collections from back in the day. And, we didn't pull these out of packs and then run up to our bedroom and alter them. In the early 1990s, maybe late 80s, when cards started to become really valuable, maybe not comparison today, but when they started to become worth something, there was a lot of that going on because there are some unscrupulous people. I wouldn't say the majority of people altered their cards, but there are always unscrupulous people when there's money involved, and it certainly happened. Now, as you can imagine, and as expected, I got a little backlash on that, and a lot of people would never touch a card if it wasn't graded by PSA. And that's okay. However you want to do it's fine. We all do our own thing, and it's your hobby. You should collect the way that you want to. But there were some outrageous claims made that, altered cards are so common. And one viewer went as far as to say that 90% of all cards that are still raw from 1980 and back, vintage, are altered. And I just think that's a bit of an overstatement. I mean, we're all welcome to our opinion. But I was like, I don't see this. And the raw cards I've bought in the last few years and had graded, I got good high grades on them. I didn't have any issues. So I started to think, am I the crazy one? Are altered cards that common that people think that 90% of the raw cards still left are altered? And if that's the case, there's tens of thousands of cards, vintage cards at PSA right now. So are those going to get mostly authentic or kicked back? I don't know. That's kind of just seems a bit outrageous to me. So I thought I'd do a little research. And so I looked up some key rookie cards from 1980 back. And I wanted to check the PSA population report and to see the percentage of cards that got an authentic. So let's deal in facts here. So first one I looked up was a Rickey Henderson rookie card. Now there were 24,098 of those graded. Out of the 24,098 graded, 25 of them got an A grade. That's 0.001037430%. All right, so far less than 1%. Eddie Murray, from 78, his rookie card, there were 10,578 graded by PSA. Out of the over 10,000, almost 11,000, 10 were graded an A. That's 0.000945536%. I threw in a 1975 Nolan Ryan. There aren't many out there. The 75 set is kind of one that if you were going to alter, you might. I just threw it in there. There were 4,600 1975 Nolan Ryans graded by PSA. 5 were graded an A. That's 0.00108696%. So let's look at the George Brett rookie. Now, you would think that a lot of these are altered. George Brett, 11,657 have been graded by PSA. Out of that, 22 got an A. And that is 0.0018878%. Now, a couple years ago when Ted Simmons got into the Hall of Fame, that 1971 rookie card was going through the roof. Everybody was digging them out. 1971 has to be the most altered, right? With the black borders, people color them in. So PSA graded 2,569 Ted Simmons rookies. Out of those, 4 were graded an A. That's 0.0015570.3%. Now let's look at the 1968 Nolan Ryan. That's a high dollar card. That was probably trimmed a lot back in the day. And it has more than the other ones, but there were 12,734 of these graded so far. Out of that, 147 got an A. Now that's 0.0115439%. Now let's look at the Hank Aaron rookie. This has to be altered. This card is one of the top cards in the hobby, right? There were 5,821 Hank Aaron submitted to PSA that were graded. Out of the 5,821, 130 were an A. And that is 0.0223329.3%. So we're really nowhere near 90%. And to make the argument that all the ones left are altered is, it's statistically, doesn't seem like a possibility, really. But that's my 2 cents, because I like to deal in facts and not conjecture. And I know a lot of people are afraid of rock cards for the reason that they might be altered. But, if you are, then you should be buying graded cards. I have, and I say this all the time, from my childhood, over 100,000 cards that grading didn't exist when I got those cards. Now, you can do your own math, but how much would it cost to grade 100,000 cards? Like $1 million, more than $1 million. I mean, there are probably a lot of collectors like me. And what are we supposed to do? Blow our whole retirement and give it to PSA? Because that's just insane. So if nobody ever wants to buy my cards because they're not graded, I'm happy to be buried with them, to be honest with you. I love my cards. Now, a few other things to note. Number one, if you watch YouTube videos, all of us, almost every channel, does PSA, SGC reveals, or some other grading company reveals. And we watch these graded cards come back. And there's a very tiny percentage that I see when I watch these reveals that, they send back and don't give it a grade or say it's trimmed or colored. And it does exist, obviously. But that's not the norm. Otherwise, we'd see every time somebody sends in the cards, when they do the reveal, we would see that most of their cards, PSA wouldn't grade. So you have that, and then you have the fact that it's really not too smart to alter your cards now if you're selling on eBay or something, because everybody's sending them in for grading. So if you sell a card, it's not like, the early 90s before grading, when, the grade of it was just the seller's idea of the grade or the buyer's idea of the grade, near mint to mint or whatever, where we had to go off the look of the card. So chances are, if you're selling altered cards and people are getting them graded, you're going to get caught. People are going to want their money back. You're going to get a bad reputation. So it's really not advantageous for you to alter cards these days, because, very few people are going to pay top dollar for raw cards. And I know there's a lot of people out there who, in their minds, they'll only pay the price of an authentic graded if it's raw, and they won't pay any more than that. And that's cool. So you have that going on. Now, I do know that PSA will send back certain things and they won't grade them, or I guess some of the grading companies, you can choose whether you want to have an A grade and have it slabbed. I know when I send in, I will accept the A. Just to get it slabbed, and I know what it is, and if it's something I want to sell, there it is for everybody to know what they're buying. So that exists too. And those ones that are kicked back are obviously not in the numbers I shared, right? But they're still not so substantial that it would add up to 90% or alter that number in a big, big way, right? So, anyway, that's that's what I have on my mind tonight. That's all I have for now. Thanks for watching.